So it's week 4 of the Diddy trial. Every day it keeps getting spicier and spicier, especially today, because today 50 Cent was name dropped in P. Diddy's federal trial. So court documents today say rapper 50 Cent was name dropped during a testimony that touched on a long-standing feud between hip-hop legend 50 Cent and Diddy. So Diddy had told his former manager Chris Lighty about his feud with 50 Cent after the two rappers left the MTV press event. Combs' ex-assistant named Capricorn Clark told the jurors today in federal court that Lighty, the manager to whom Combs allegedly made a gun remark, died in 2014 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But 50 Cent, however, tried to hire a private investigator to dig into Lighty's death. So when 50 Cent heard this today, you know he always had stuff to say. So he went to his Instagram today and posted this with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm gonna hide out at a playoff game tonight. LOL." Hiding out at a playoff game is crazy. But then he posted another picture right after that and said, cut, wait a minute. Puffy's got a gun. I can't believe this. I don't feel safe. So basically, he took a screenshot of what the prosecution said today in court, and it said, "Did you ever observe Mr. Combs with a gun?" And Capricorn Clark said, "Yes, in my home." State attorney also said, "And did he talk about it?" Capricorn said, Mr. Combs, told Chris Lighty he had a gun. He had a problem with 50 Cent. So after 50 Cent posted that, he posted this as well. And he said, "What is the spread on this? I got Diddy doing 20. His friends just got the F away from him. Shaking my head. Bad boy dangerous." Bad what? Nah, why did he look like that? It looked like he aging in dog years ever since he been in prison. But 50 had that to say about today's testimony. But if you guys don't know who Chris Lighty is and how his relationship with Diddy and 50 Cent transpired to Chris Lighty's death, you gotta take a look at this.
Chris, going by the name Baby Chris, had come up with a Bronx crew called the Violators. From snatching people's chains in clubs, he graduated to carrying records for legendary DJ Red Alert. That relationship led him to becoming the tour manager for groups like Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul. He later became a successful executive at Def Jam before launching Violator, his management company with Mona Scott. Just like I was always seeking to find balance between 50 Cent and Curtis Jackson, Chris had two distinct sides to him as well. Chris Lighty, the executive, could sit down in the boardroom and have no problem cutting a multi-million-dollar deal. But Baby Chris from the Bronx would still want to smack you in your face if you played too much around him. We were both constantly walking the tightrope between respecting our street and demonstrating our corporate character. For that reason alone, we deeply understood each other. With Chris, for the first time in my life, I had someone outside my immediate family who I trusted implicitly, with my money, with my visions, and with my future. A trust, as I've said, that is very hard for me to build. I didn't realize how much I trusted Chris till not long after he died.
So that's like a little backstory about Chris Lighty and 50 Cent's relationship. But listen to exactly what happened in court today.
50 Cent was always suspicious after he found out that Chris Lighty died of a suicide. He hired a private investigator to look into it. Busta Rhymes and LL Cool J also said that they believed that Chris Lighty was murdered. Today at the Sean Combs versus United States trial, Diddy's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, got on the stand and said that after she left Bad Boy, she got hired by Chris Lighty to be 50 Cent's day-to-day manager. But the day before she was about to start the job, Chris Lighty died. And as she said that, she broke down into tears. For years, there's been suspicions around Chris Lighty's death. And after hearing that on the testimony today, everybody's reinvestigating now the death of Chris Lighty. Stay tuned for more.
Yeah, so that's pretty critical. So now they're saying that Diddy has something to do with the mysterious suicide of Chris Lighty. And it's so interesting, the day before 50 Cent was supposed to get an assistant from Chris Lighty, something happens to him. So if you remember, they were talking about how Busta Rhymes knew Chris Lighty, But it's so interesting because Busta Rhymes is really, really close friends to Diddy. But listen to Busta Rhymes' shocking revelation about Chris Lighty.
The next morning, I get the call from his assistant that something happened to him. And I'm asking what happened to him. And they just said he hurt himself, but they didn't say, that he was dead. They just was like, he hurt himself. She just kept saying, Chris hurt himself, Chris hurt himself. And the assistant is asking her, what exactly did he do to himself? He just hurt himself. And then we asked if he was dead, and then she said she don't know.
Something sounds really inconsistent with that story. Ah, man, it's getting deep. Check out what 50 Cent's heartwarming promise to Chris was before he died.
Chris's death was a blow on many levels. The most devastating, of course, was knowing what his loss would mean to his children. Chris's daughter, Tiffany, and I in particular were close, and I knew she worshipped the ground he walked on. As soon as I learned he had passed, I made a vow that I would look out for Tiffany in his absence. I tried to live up to that promise, rewriting my will to include her. I'm so supportive of Tiffany that I didn't even flip when she knocked the mirror off one of the Lambos I let her drive. That's how you know it's love. Beyond its impact on Chris's family, I was also worried about what his death would mean for me. Out of all my business associates, Chris was easily the one I felt closest to. I had met Chris early in my career when I was first out supporting my mixtapes. Even though he had grown up in the Bronx and was a little bit older than me, I felt like I had known him my entire life. We were very similar in our background and our energy.
Rest in peace to Chris Lighty. That's my icon.
Wow. So there you have it. That is the reason why 50 Cent has a problem with Diddy. It makes sense. Like, people were asking for years, why is 50 Cent trolling Diddy? I think because 50 Cent truly believes Diddy had something to do with Chris Lighty's death. So let us know what you think. Is it over for Diddy? Does 50 Cent have the right to keep trolling Diddy until this trial is over? Or should 50 Cent just tone it down? Let us know. Keep it locked.